Going through the internet, you would find a ton of information on ways to get rich. From starting your own business to investing in cryptocurrencies, this overwhelming amount of information makes you wary to start. So, what can you do to get to that first million? You can start by getting a job. That's right, gone were the days where having a million is but a dream to people who just have jobs. Before, only the super intellectuals or even the incredibly lucky individuals could become millionaires. Today, anyone who has a knack to develop a skill, who be good with it, and persevere could receive that $1 million paycheck. And given how fast the modern world evolves, the chances of you getting one gets bigger and bigger. Here at Bear Luxury, you will be discovering ways to get rich and be rich. We will be posting videos with all the information you need to do great in life. So don't miss any of these videos. Like and subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for updates, and who knows, our next video might just be about the next millionaire, you. For today's video, we will be looking at 15 jobs that can make you the next millionaire. Number 1. Plastic surgeon and specialized doctors. In America, the salary of plastic surgeons averages to $300,000 annually, and some of the top-paying medical specialties for doctors average $450,000 a year. Some examples are oncology, cardiology, orthopedic surgery, radiology, and urology. There are even some specialties, like neurology, that can fetch neurosurgeons or brain doctors an average annual salary of $700,000. But you might be wondering why plastic surgery was included when a plastic surgeon's average annual salary is short $150,000 to even be considered a top specialization for doctors. That is because it is one of the fastest growing markets in the medical field. It is basically everywhere. Considering that $60 billion was spent on adjustments last year, the world has been more accepting of what once was considered taboo. And in this social media age, there are even TV shows that are centered on glow-ups using plastic surgery. Now that people are earning real cash by posting pictures or going live on social media with their more than ideal looks, you can expect a steady gush of clients for a long period of time. Number 2. Corporate lawyer. Average salary $200,000 and up. Like doctors, there are a lot of specializations for corporate lawyers to venture into. The most profitable of these, however, are mergers and acquisitions, patent lawyers, and intellectual property. If you happen to become a lawyer of a large financial or tech company and show them results, like raking in multi-million-dollar deals or saving them for a bad one, the higher your salary would become. There are even cases where exceptional lawyers from these companies receive more than $1 million worth of salary after winning high-profile cases. Architect. Average salary $100,000. From practicality to unique designs, a good architect could more than double this valuation. Even after going through the crashes of the 20s, 40s, and early 2000s, real estate growth is skyrocketing. This means that projects not only increase in complexity and sheer ingenuity, but the amount of jobs an architect could take increases as well. With large projects being undertaken by developers and even the government, an architect can earn a 7-figure paycheck. This also translates to fiercer competition, however. But hey, the challenge of a healthy competition is the reason we have masterpieces around the world in the first place. Number 4. Pilots and air traffic controller. Average salary $100,000. In this day and age where automation is prevalent, pilots are still considered to be one of the highest paying jobs in the world. That is because one could never truly recreate what they call a human touch. And when you have tens, if not hundreds of lives at the palm of your hands, the pay would naturally be high. On more luxurious flights, a competent pilot could get paid more than $300,000 an hour. Average flights, meanwhile, get the pilot paid around $200,000 an hour. And a pilot could have more than one trip per day, with flights ranging from an hour to more than 3 hours for trips going from east to west coast. The aviation industry, however, has a job that bears a bit more responsibility. Air traffic controllers earn more on average than pilots. They manage multiple flight paths and monitor aircraft to avoid collisions. That means they have hundreds to thousands of lives to look out for. That level of stress is aptly compensated for an average annual payout of $150,000. Number 5. Cybersecurity-Application security engineer. $250,000 per year. From buying groceries to managing a bank account balance, people have been more connected than they ever have been. This level of connection, however, comes with its own set of problems. Exposure. Without proper security measures, hackers could fish out a lot of cash from unsuspecting victims anywhere around the world. Today, high-profile company data breaches are happening more frequently. One of the most controversial breaches happened at the company Equifax, where all the data of their clients were exposed, making it possible for their identities, especially online identities, to be copied and used by others. The actual damages may never be known, and the effects of the breach can still be felt by the company to this day. That is the reason why high-profile companies spend a large sum of cash for protection. A breach could cause companies in the tech, pharmaceutical, and even intellectual property fields billions of dollars in damages if they are not careful. More than that is the loss of trust from their clients and customers that hurts them the most. The threat of data breaches is not isolated to big companies. Companies like Google and Meta gather an insurmountable amount of data on their users every second. Hackers can exploit these data gathering methods that people tend to brush off or overlook and monitor their every move online. So, next time you go online, make sure to only visit trusted sites and limit the amount of information you publish. One could never be too safe these days. Did you know that there are some hackers who leave ransomware on your devices? Their modus is to lock you out of your computers or servers and threaten to delete your important files. They would then ask for ransom so you can get that access back. Has your recent online activity made you feel vulnerable? Now that you're aware of the very real dangers that hackers may bring online, what are the ways that you can think of to protect yourself from such threats? Leave your answers in the comments. Maybe your answer can save someone else from the hassle these breaches bring. Number 6. Marketing managers. Average salary, $150,000. Chief Marketing Officer, $200,000 above. Over the past few decades, advertising has shaped and influenced market trends and consumer habits to the advantage of the companies behind them. It is everywhere. Marketing geniuses even found ways to advertise on packaging of other products, or even use their number one competitors and up their advertising game to greater heights. It's creative visionaries such as these that fetch the highest salaries. Take Old Spice, for example, a 75-year-old grooming brand that got resurrected after adopting new marketing campaigns. This bold move more than doubled the company's revenues in a little less than a year. But in order to become successful in marketing, one must not focus solely on advertising. Marketing is a spectrum of things. There is a ton of information that needs to be processed by marketing managers in order to come up with a decent marketing strategy. Some of the best marketing directors, like the ones from Pepsi and Coke, take home around $200,000 annually. Number 7. High-end sales. Average salary, $200,000. Today, you can meet someone exceptional at sales anywhere. They are from salespeople at the mall, street vendors, and even Girl Scouts knocking on your doors on Sundays. These people can sell just about anything, and they'll often stop at nothing just to secure a deal. But we're not talking about your everyday salesmen and women. We're here to talk about the top 20% of salespeople that are focused on bigger pies. These over-the-top people are real estate agents, mortgage sales representatives, software sales, medical representatives, insurance sales, and more. Big ticket items are fewer, but the slice of the pie is definitely bigger. Some of these, like real estate sales, software sales, and pharmaceutical sales, can receive salaries between $150,000 and $250,000 per year. Number 8. Software developers. Average salary, $150,000 plus stock in the company. A few years ago, startup companies have been popping up left and right. The influx of new companies has invigorated the markets that rippled throughout every sector of society. Sadly, only around 10% of these startups became successful. This magnified the importance of people who have the ability to make things happen. Apple's Steve Jobs wouldn't have been able to take his company to the top without support from his former partner, Steve Wozniak. Software developers have an edge on others in this list, as they could opt for a percentage of the company they are working for. Depending on that company's success, a software developer could triple, even quadruple his or her payout. Now that's an incentive anyone would be more than willing to work for. Number 9. Petroleum engineer. Salary, $200,000. Some petroleum-related jobs average $100,000 a year. In an industry where the mortality rate is one of the highest, why is a petroleum engineer's salary higher than that of their peers? That is because they are the ones responsible for planning gas and oil field drillings. They also make sure that their procedures put the safety of all others, including themselves. Deadlines also have to be met smoothly in order to meet global demands and maximize profit. Oil is one of the most lucrative markets to venture. There have even been wars raised just to protect the oil trading interest of some very powerful countries. With so much in line, the pay would be naturally higher. If you check out what happened to Deepwater Horizon, dubbed as the second worst case of oil spill to ever happen, where more than 10 people perished, you'd realize that workers in the petroleum industry deserve every penny. Number 10. YouTuber and new media personality. Average salary amounts to nada. Top-tiered content creators can fetch more than $5 million per year. Beginners could be non-profitable for a couple of years, depending on the traffic of their channels or pages on their platform of choice. On the brighter side, starting on this is free. With a bit of creativity and perseverance, you could be raking in that $1 million paycheck in less than 10 years. Because of the ease of starting in this industry, the staggering amount of content creators makes it very difficult to calculate their average annual salary. One way these low to mid-tier content creators make money is by making use of the top players on the field. Mentions, promotions, or just plain reaction videos off the top dogs could be profitable to your average content creators. To give you a glimpse of the top earners in this industry, YouTube channels that gain money mainly off advertising like Ryan's Toy Reviews and Dude Perfect earn more than $20 million a year. The longest to hold the title of most subscribed YouTube channel, PewDiePie, earns around $15 million a year, even after scarcely publishing videos, announcing that he'll only create videos for fun and not for monetary value anymore. Twitch, another platform that focuses on streaming live videos, has streamers like Ninja and Shroud, who both rake in an average of $10 million a year. Joe Rogan has an arguably controversial podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, that earns him millions of dollars. He even bagged a deal with an audio streaming platform powerhouse, Spotify, which is worth in the hundreds of millions. Other personalities that already have a considerable amount of following use social media and other platforms to promote their products. The best examples are Kendall Jenner, Jeffree Star, and the combined forces of the Paul brothers and KSI, who successfully launched a now multi-million-dollar brand, Prime Hydration. From the more conventional occupations like pilots and architects to the very broad YouTuber or new media personality, which one out of all the highest paying jobs that's been shown so far appeals to you the most? Are you satisfied with slowly grinding your way to the top on more secure and proven fields? Or are you the higher the risk, the higher reward kind of person who is willing to bet big on more vague and fairly new industries? Leave your comments below. Let's see what you guys favor these days. 11. Professional athlete. Average salary, $2.5 million. Their career averagely spans a good 5 years. Because of the way media content is being channeled all across the globe, being a professional athlete has never been more desirable, especially for those who are the best of their respective sport and manages to build a solid fan base. You just have to maintain the traction you build and make sure to be sustainable even after your sporting career is over. Different sports have different pay ranges. For basketball, the likes of LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant earn roughly $30 to more than $40 million each season. NFL's Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald, and Tom Brady earn on average around $15 million per year. The top lads of football or soccer manage to fetch more than $50 million per year. To name a few, the top of the top are Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, and a few others. Consequently, there's a surprising thread that shows 80% of retired players, specifically NBA, go bankrupt after a few years off game. Other sports show around the same stat. 50% of players go broke after retirement. 12. Professional entertainer. Actors, music, TV, and more. Average salary, $250,000 to over $10 million a year. This is the broadest one off the list, and there is no real starting point. But to give you an idea of what the entertainment industry has to offer, here are the average payouts for different parts of the industry. Let's start with talk show and late night show personalities. Kim Kardashian earns about $1 million per year. Judge Judy, Conan, and Jimmy Kimmel earn around $12 to $15 million annually. And the more prominent Dr. Phil and Ellen DeGeneres, a staggering average of more than $80 million. For highly successful TV shows and series like Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, and Modern Family, the cast gets paid an average of $1 million per episode. The cast of newer series, like Stranger Things, had paychecks that grew from $20,000 to $250,000 per episode in just 4 seasons. Movies have the most members, but let's look at the cast of the MCU or Marvel Cinematic Universe as an example. Black Panther's late Chadwick Boseman was paid $2 million for one of the most iconic roles in the entire franchise. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow and Brie Larson as Captain Marvel were paid $15 million and $5 million respectively for their roles. The one who started MCU's success, the man himself, Robert Downey Jr., earns around $35 million for his role as Iron Man. But this was not always the case. For his first Iron Man movie, he was only paid $500,000. One of his enemies in the Avengers movie, Loki, was paid $160,000. And the sometimes comic Ant-Man was paid $300,000 for his introductory role into the MCU. Sure, the competition is fierce in the industry that they're in, but if you've got the skill to back you up, you'll certainly reach Robert Downey Jr. heights in the future. Lastly, the music industry has Bruno Mars, Drake, Jay-Z, and even Cash Me Outside girls paid from $1 million a year to $100,000 up yearly. I know that the extravagant pays that the entertainment industry can offer left you all gasping. But the last three jobs, though leaning toward the more technical side of things, have the potential to surpass all that has been shown so far. So stick with us for a bit, because the last one will shock you even more. Number 13. Investment Banker. Average salary, $200,000. Managing directors, at least $1 million annually. People from this sector do not rely on their salaries alone to take home their $1 million checks. Bonuses they get from this job, more often than not, exceed their fixed salaries by leaps and bounds. One of the major ways they make good money is by helping large companies and government offices manage their finances and investments. The top investment bankers cash in big money. Jamie Dimon, the chief executive officer of JP Morgan Chase, takes home $28.2 million per year, and others like James Gorman of Morgan Stanley and Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs take home more than $22 million per year. Number 14. Hedge Fund Manager. Average salary, $2.4 million. The best of these, however, over $1 billion per year. What if I told you that there is an even more lucrative way to make money off managing others' money and investments? That's right, hedge fund management has been the highest annual payout of all the other jobs in this list. The way it works is that rich people pool their money into companies called hedge funds. A hedge fund manager will then find other companies to invest all the resources of that hedge fund with goals of getting higher returns for their investments. The best example of this is the current number one hedge fund in the world, with over $120 billion as AUM, or Assets Under Management, Bridgewater Associates. The top hedge funds in the world are off limits to the average person. The reason for this is that an average person earning an average income doesn't have enough money to be even considered an investment at this level. When a fund manager bags a successful investment, he or she will have a percentage of the total earnings from that deal and an additional performance fee. If you're curious just how much can a hedge fund manager earn, Ray Dalio of Bridgewater Associates rakes in over $1 billion annually. Others like Ken Griffin of Citadel and Urza Englander of Millennium Management got paid more than $500 million a year. Number 15. Business Owner. Average salary, $75,000 per year. Yes, owning a business is a job. You pay yourself for the things that you put into business, like innovation, market forecasts, fund management, and overall ability to sell the product or services your company offers. What separates this among other jobs on the list is that you have total control. You will be responsible for overseeing all tasks and processes undertaken in your company, going through every bit of detail to make sure that everything runs smoothly. The more hands-on you that are in your business and knowledge of the market that it belongs to, the more informed decisions can be made to maximize profit and reach your goals. If you know the direction you're going, then getting to that first million would be more enjoyable. Knowing that roughly 10% of startups only survive to fruition and reach their goals, you should remember the weight of responsibility of taking on such a task. Not everyone could handle the stress of starting a new business and the challenges that come along with it. You all know who Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are, even though they had to go through a struggle to get to where they are now, owning multi-billion-dollar companies at the top of their respective fields. But if you have the right set of values, perseverance, and smarts, you could always find an industry or niche where you are confident to do well. Now, these might all be very alluring, but always remember, before making any big decisions, make sure that you would only engage in a job that interests you. After all, any job has the potential to be worth millions or even billions. You see, a job you dislike becomes a burden, but a job that you are passionate about blends into your life easily, becoming part of who you are. By then, money would only be an incentive when you are already living the life you have always dreamed of living. Sharing this information with you was our pleasure, future millionaires. For more videos about luxury, remember to subscribe to our channel Bear Luxury, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be updated on our next videos.